And in this stream, we will overview Cisco AI Assistant API, discover how to integrate Cisco AI Assistant for security with AI Agent, or use it in your app. Cisco AI Assistant is now available for a few Cisco security products. You can see interface here now in your screen. Let's run it with a simple prompt. How do I create a basic security policy for FTD? While it's generating response, let's discuss a little bit about the product itself. The Cisco AI Assistant implemented on your CDO tenant only has access to your tenant information and security policies on your cloud delivery firewall management center. AI Assistant cannot learn about policies on other CDO tenants and so cannot answer a question about them or integrate information from them. The AI Assistant is updated every 24 hours with the policy and configuration changes you made to your device and tenant. Let's review the response. We can see now the response of AI Assistant. Step 1, Step 2, what we need to accomplish to create basic security policy with related link on sources. Usually it's documentation. Let me share information about Sandbox that we are going to use during today's stream. So here is our Sandbox. With recently released CDO Sandbox, each of you can try AI Assistant UI as well as API. Here is how it looks like. You can reserve and launch it from the main DevNet page. Here is the catalog. You can click Cisco Defense Orchestrator Sandbox and launch it. In Quick Access tab, you can find login URL, username, as well as a password and API token that you need to interaction with AI Assistant as well. We also onboard for firewall threat defense device, so you can play with policies. Here you can see FTD devices that we onboard by default. And managing firewall policies and locating relevant documentation can be daunting for firewall administrators. However, the AI Assistant integrated with Cisco Defense Orchestrator and the Cloud Delivery Firewall Management Center simplifies this process. Let's briefly review AI Assistant for Security API operation. What we have here? We have operation with post method, ask AI Assistant and create new conversation. We also have API operation to get related conversation information. We also have, for example, API operation called Ask AI Assistant Existing Conversation. It's because the AI Assistant is aware of past responses and questions that you provide through API or through graphical user interface in particular conversation. And we have get messages that can help us then get messages on using related conversation ID. You can use the AI Assistant to create rules. The AI Assistant provides a user-friendly interface with simple prompts that you guide through the rule creation process. Currently, AI Assistant supports access control policy rules. You can create rules to allow, block, or block reset. Let's make a few API requests using Postman. Let me share my Postman. And before using this, let's check whether the Cisco AI Assistant is enabled. We have related get tenant settings API operation. Let's send the request. We receive JSON object and we have AI Assistant key with value true. This means that AI Assistant is enabled and we can interact with them. Here is an API operation to ask AI Assistant and create new conversation. Here is our prompt. What access control rules are disabled? Let's send this request. And we receive JSON object with information that also contain entity unique identifier. Here is it. We need it later to get messages. And you can see that current status is pending. Let's go to get messages. You can find in path that we have this conversation unique identifier here. Let's send request. And here we can receive a response with the content. The disabled access control rules include names like ACP rule, WebEx block test, with related policy results and with related table. Okay, let me show you one application that can show you how you can integrate AI Assistant API with your own application. For example, you want to retrieve information from AI Assistant, use it in your AI agent or in your application, interact with them through API. Here is it. So I have created an app using AI agent, Streamlit. Here is it. You can find it. It's an open source project. You can find related link on it in video description. And I also utilize Cisco AI Assistant API. Since the model interact with security product or the CDO tenant database, some responses can take some time to interfere. Let's send request to our app. What access control rules are disabled? Click Ask Cisco AI Assistant. And we receive results with name of rules and tables that contains column name, rule number. Yeah, let me show you VS Code. So in this example, we send request in a loop and search for value response. Here's our loop, search for value response. In our JSON object, when we find it, we display AI Assistant completion. In this example, we also extend our application with AI agent capabilities that allow us to interact with instance using API. We extended AI Assistant capabilities by adding OpenAPI documentation as an input in our AI agent, and now we can use natural language to interact with our APIs. For example, onboard new devices, execute CLI commands, etc. Let's use the following prompt: enable multi-cloud defense. We have related API operations that allow users to complete this. And click Ask AI Agent. And here is AI Agent response: multi-cloud defense enabled. Agent utilize enable multi-cloud defense API operation, post method, and related path. So thank you. You can find